A delegation of Democratic and independent U.S. senators visited Guantanamo Bay this past weekend to assess how the Department of Defense is handling deported migrants. After returning from the naval station in Cuba, the 5 senators called it a waste of both U.S. military resources and a disrespect to American taxpayers. Democratic Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island led the delegation, also serving as a ranking member of the Senate Armed Services Committee. Congressional aides told the New York Times that Senator Reed, along with other lawmakers, was briefed on operation costs at Guantanamo, which reached $40 million as of March 12th. This estimate covers a 6-week period during which 290 migrants were relocated there. This week, the population at the base fell to about 85 migrants. In total, fewer than 400 men have been housed there under Trump's executive order, which originally aimed to house up to 30,000 migrants, according to the administration. On January 29th, the directive outlined the base should be used at full capacity to provide additional detention space for high-priority criminal aliens unlawfully present in the United States and to address attendant immigration enforcement needs identified by the Department of Defense and the Department of Homeland Security. The Guantanamo operation has run into logistical, financial, and legal troubles. The administration's reliance on costly military and regular flights to move migrants has raised questions about the real effectiveness of the initiative. In a joint statement, the senators expressed President Trump could implement his immigration policies for a fraction of the cost by using existing ICE facilities in the U.S., but he is obsessed with the image of using Guantanamo no matter the cost. Reed was joined by Democratic Senators Jeanne Shaheen, Gary Peters, Independent Angus King, and Alex Padilla. The senators say the trip was the only way to get answers from the Trump administration as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem bypassed Congress to carry out immigration enforcement. After meeting with the employees and military personnel staffing the facility, about 1,000 in total, the senators thanked them for their dedication and commitment to national security. The delegation said we met with dozens of service members who were rushed to Guantanamo Bay without notice, leaving their critical day-to-day military missions behind in order to build tents that should never be filled and guard immigrants who should never be held there. During their visit, they witnessed more than a dozen migrants arriving at the facility from Louisiana just hours after the visit ended. Another small group was brought in on a military plane. Weeks earlier in March, 40 men were flown back to the U.S., and before that, 48 other migrants were returned from Guantanamo with no explanation given about their arrival. The senators are urging President Trump to halt the relocation of migrants to Guantanamo Bay and to operate under a legal authority that doesn't undermine the military's readiness. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Kaylee Carey. Find the latest unbiased, fact-based news right now by downloading the Straight Arrow News mobile app.